Hi, my name is Jamie Tucker, and this is my STEM Bus Field Experience Reflection slide, so let's get on into it. So, obviously, the interactive aspects during my experience were very different than my first experience with the virtual field experience because obviously I was in a classroom, in a school with students, with teachers, with parents. It was great. It was a very big change, but I really liked it. It was a lot different, and I personally liked it a lot better. So, the way that I provided assistance for the teachers is by having my own group of students with a hands-on activity to show them and help them with and explain to them. So we had two groups of students participate in the STEM bus activities. The first group was third grade students from 9:30 to 11, and the second group was first graders from 11:30 to 12:30. It was really fun and a nice change for both the teacher and the students to have a couple new faces inside the classrooms helping out, along with students' parents. It was great. Um, I helped facilitate the learning of my students by keeping them on task while they were either designing coins, making money trees. There were a bunch of different stations at the third grade activity station. And the first graders used Beatbox to tell a story and spell their names. The technology integration that I used was that the third grade lesson was mainly directed towards the history and importance of currency. So with that, each student was able to design a coin on a piece of paper. And once they finished that, there were several other stations around the classroom that they could do before they were allowed to go out to the STEM bus. And at the STEM bus, the students were able to watch a coin being made with a laser cutter, which would then be making their coins later in the week. Even though they didn't get to see their own coin being made, they got to see a coin being made, which is great because it shows the students how machines actually work and how these machines create things that they use on a daily basis every single day in their lives. So I thought that was really cool. And one of the stations that I had after the students drew their coin and went to the STEM bus while they were in the waiting period, I had a money tree, which is where I drew a tree with branches, and I gave students a bunch of coins, and they took a colored pencil and lightly drew on top of the paper while the coin was under it, so it looked like a tree with a lot of money on it. It was really cute. I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. So the first grader's lesson was directed towards robots, and we utilized Beatbots. The students read and were able to tell the story of the hungry caterpillar via Beatbots. The students loved the Beatbots because it's a fun, interactive, hands-on, and easy way of learning. It's great. They love it. And I learned how to use them previously, so I love it. It was a lot of fun. Things that I did well, I thought I kept my students on task during the times that they were at my stations. I made sure that they were all engaging with the activities. Even if they finished other stations, I would have always welcomed them at mine, and they were allowed to make another or do something else if they wanted to, so they weren't bored. And I really did let them experience trial and error with the Beatbots instead of jumping too quickly into it and trying to take it away from them and take away the learning experience. I kind of wanted them to come to their own conclusions on how to do what they had to do, and if they needed me, they could of course ask and I would show assistance and help, but they did like to come to the conclusion on themselves. The only thing that I really did struggle with was that the students kind of fought over who went first because they were kind of all busy, but they were just fighting over who went first, and they kind of got distracted while somebody else was using the Beatbot and they were waiting their turn. But other than that, everything was perfectly fine. The improvements that I would make for next time, I would definitely demonstrate to the students first what to do before letting them just go. I mean, the teacher who gave the lesson before she broke us out into groups, she showed them how to do it, but just in case, I would next time show them again, just to the three of them, so it was more personal. And next time I would also give the students an order so there was no fighting on turns, like 1, 2, 3, and they would just go in that rotation. And what I learned during this experience is that students learn at different paces. Each one of the students, every single one of them all learned at different paces, and I thought that was really interesting. Because what seems simple for one may be new and challenging for another. One of my students had used Beatbots before and knew exactly what he was doing. He was getting them all right. And then one of the other students had never used Beatbox before and was kind of confused and was messing up and wanted to go again. So that was really interesting to see. I really enjoyed that. And my personal identity as a teacher, I really understood how much patience I actually do have when teaching students how to do something that requires steps, because keeping them on task while you're explaining them and demonstrating something to them only will come with good outcomes. And I really thought my communications with the teacher to student aspect were actually really good. I thought the students were listening to me and seeing that I was an adult, even though I was just in college. I thought it was great. And how well I adapted to the technology that we were using in the classrooms on a day-to-day basis again. But even though I previously knew how to use Beatbox, learning in W200, I thought that that was really great that I knew how to use them. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.